Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivam, Shivaham, Om. Welcome to another Satsang with your host, Chuck the Yogi Cave, from the Yogi Cave on this gorgeous morning, sometime before the autumn equinox, when other things will be going down as we expand our nodes and networks across the known world. Let us continue with the Viveka Chudamani. Viraja, Vishara, Vishaya, Vrata, Dosha Drishtya, Muhur Muhuhu, Zvalakshe, Niyatatvasta, Manash Saha, Shama Uchyate. The tranquil state of the mind when it rests constantly upon the contemplation of the goal, after having again and again detached itself from myriad seen sense objects through a process of continuous observation of their defects, is called sama. So samarasa, to be able to see through the defects of all things and to flow through them all. This is what we're talking about here. Vishayebhyaha paravaltya stapanam svagolake ubayesha mindriyanam sadamaha parikirtitaha bahyanalambanam vriteresho paratirutama. Steering both kinds of sense organs of knowledge and action away from their sense objects and placing them in their respective centers of activity is called Dhamma, self-control. The best uparati, self-withdrawal, is that condition of the thought waves in which they are free from the influence of external objects. So the idea is to be able to remain detached, go through life, carry out your karma as you need to do, and not be attached to these things so that you don't incur more karma. Sahanam sarvaduk kanam maprati kara purvakam chintavila parahitam sa titiksha nigatyate. Titiksha, or forbearance, is the capacity to endure all sorrows and sufferings without struggling for redress or for revenge, while always being free from anxiety or lament over them. So the whole idea is to get to a place where you're not creating more karma. That's the point of it. Shastrasya guruvakyasya satyabudya vadaranam sa sharada katita sadbiryaya vastu palabhyate. That by which one understands the exact import of the scriptures as well as the pregnant words of advice of the preceptor is called sharada, by the wise. By this alone does reality become manifestly clear. So before you can experience, you have to believe, in the sense that you have to believe that such things are possible. Not in the sense of believing in the fairy godmother and Santa Claus. The idea is that they're the wise, the ones that have treaded this path, have left these instructions behind. And they say, okay, so you have to go through here, and then you have to go left on the lake, and then you have to keep on. And you have to believe that and they're giving this to you in good faith, that there is something on that other side, right? Before you actually experience it for yourself. So this is the foundation of faith. Otherwise, it's just mythology, right? Salvada stapanam buddhe shude brahmani salvada tatmasama da na mityuktam natu chitasya lalanam. Samadhana, or one-pointedness, is that condition when the mind is constantly engaged in the total contemplation of the ever-pure Brahman, and it is not gained through any curious indulgence of the mind. So basically, this is no place for dilettantes, right? For people that dabble, for dabblers. You have to do the work. Ahankara dide hantan bandhana jana kalpitan svasvarupava bodhena muktimicha mumukshuta. Mumukshutva is the burning desire to free oneself by realizing one's true self or true nature, from all bondages, from that of egoism to that of identification with the body, which are bondages imagined due to ignorance. So vidya, so avidya, right? Due to ignorance, to confusing the rope as for a snake, that sort of thing. Mandama dhyama rupapi vairagyana samadhina prasadena guruho sayam pavrita suyate palam. Even though slight or moderate, this longing for liberation may bear fruit through the grace of the Guru and through detachment, calmness of the mind, etc. So, those two essential elements, finding someone that's part of a lineage or somebody that's realized, and being able to have the qualities yourself to help you break through the eggshell, basically. Vairagyam cha mumukshutvam tivram yasyatu vidyate tasmin nevada vantaha syuhu palavantaha shama tayaha. Calmness and other practices have their meaning and they bear fruit indeed, only in one who has an intense spirit of renunciation and yearning for liberation. So again, that's the key, right? Because it doesn't matter if you have all these talents. If you don't really want to leave the sandbox, well, you're not leaving the sandbox. That's the bottom line. Etayor mandata yatra virakta vamumukshayoho marao salila vatatra shama der bana matrata. Sama becomes as ineffectual as a mirage in the desert in him who has a weak detachment and yearning for freedom. In other words, you can practice it, but if your desire for liberation is weak, your practice will be weak. Moksha karana samma griyam bhaktireva gariyasi svasvaru panu sandanam bhakti Aritya vidiyate. Among the means and conditions necessary for liberation, devotion or bhakti alone is supreme. Constant contemplation of one's real nature is called devotion. So it sounds contradictory, right? Because he kind of poo-pooed bhakti yoga on the one hand, and yet here he says that devotion alone is supreme. But again, what he means by devotion is contemplation of one's real nature, not seeing something outside of yourself and worshiping it. That's the difference. Svatmatat vanu sandanam bhakti ritiya pare jagu uktasad dana sampana stat vajishnya surat manaha upasided gurum prajnam yasmad banda vimokshanam. Others say that bhakti means a constant inquiry into the truth of one's own self. One who has the above-mentioned qualifications and is desirous to know the truth of the self should therefore approach an illumined teacher for redeeming himself from bondage. One more. I haven't had my coffee, so I'm kind of dyslexic. Shrotriyo vrijino kamahato yo brahma vitamaha brahmanyu parataha shanto nirindana ivannalaha ahetu kada yasin Durbandura na matam satam. Satam. A teacher who is one who is well versed in the scriptures, pure, unafflicted by desires, a perfect knower of the Supreme, continuously abides in the Supreme, who is as calm as the fire that has burned up its fuel, who is a spontaneous ocean of mercy that needs no cause for its expression, an intimate friend to all good people who surrender to him. So those are the qualifications of the ideal guru. Okay, I'm going to leave it here for now. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Om. Shiva Om. Jai Ma. Jai Mahakal. Till next time.